After Zoomies at the dog park, it's time for Drive Up at Target. In goes a big bag of kibble and one squeaky chicken toy for the good boy. Drive Up that's ready when you are, only in the Target app. Just tap Target.
How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
War Eagle, and welcome to another edition of Ever to Podcast, our somewhat regular get-together with you in audio format here at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience, all about Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family stuff. If it's orange and blue, it's what we do. So thank you so much for joining us in what we're going to be doing today on episode 40 of the, I almost said it again, the Ever to podcast series here at E2C Network. Today's date is July 22nd, 2025. As always, I'm your host, Kyle Loomis, to bring you the latest Disney news, discussions, scuttlebutt, things that you need to be aware of in that orange and blue space. Let me start off the show by kind of acknowledging some maybe some delays or not show appearances that maybe you've come to expect over this summer. As you kind of know, we've been trying to do this almost on a every weekday type of situation, barring my schedule if I'm on traveling or something like that, or it just doesn't work out. I've been sick before too. I'm starting to kind of feel that out a little bit better, so this is more of a housekeeping, real quick segment. I think what we're going to operate right now in this world, feeling things out, is planning to do these mainly on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, trying to focus on those ones definitely coming out outside of other circumstances. But maybe from that point forward, only doing Mondays and Fridays if it's needed, if it's something there's warranted out there, and I think there will be plenty of days like that, or even weekend days where there may be something that we need to talk about as well. But I wanted to try to, as we continue this experiment of this somewhat regular podcast, this somewhat regular audio get-together with you, I want to give you kind of where my head's at and maybe help you understand the, I want to call it sporadic, but sometimes the consistent nature of when this is coming out and why this is coming out. Our goal here is to keep you informed, entertained about the Auburn experience, and so we want to continue to do that. So let me know if you have any feedback about that or how we've been doing and things like that. We're always wanting to hear from you at e2cnetwork@gmail.com. Shoot us an email. All right, let's get into the news and stuff. Obviously, some big things for football have been occurring. Let's talk about some recruiting. I know a lot of you are always focused on that, and you should be. Sometimes a little bit too much focused on it, especially obsessing about the decision-making process of 17 and 18-year-old boys. But when they commit, those are certainly big moments that we need to focus on. Brand new commit for the Auburn football 2026 class, Jaquez Wilkes. Can I just say Jaquez? I will probably call you Jarquez 1,000 times, even though he just left us. You have to forgive me for the repetition has been there. But Jaquez Wilkes is your brand new edge/linebacker commit for Auburn football's 2026 class. We've done a video about him, giving you all the facts and the discussion about what it means for Hugh Freeze, for him, for the Auburn Tigers, for the class. So I would highly recommend you go check that out on YouTube. But just some quick commentaries here. He could be an edge or a linebacker. It looks like Auburn maybe right now considers him more of a linebacker commit, but he's categorized as an edge. He comes from Wadley, Alabama, a very close township to Auburn. I would call it its backyard, so very important to take care of that. And Auburn continues to build some momentum off of what some people were considering a very slow time, a down time for Auburn football recruiting. Might have been dancing on graves a little bit too early for the rival fans and you people that panic out there. But brand new commit for 2026, Jaquez Wilkes. Welcome to him, and hope we can get to see him in the orange and blue very, very soon. This is not really news, more of just one of those conversations that I saw out there in the Auburn football space that I thought you all would find interesting, but I wanted to bring it up. This comes from College Football Alerts on social media. I first saw it on X, but I think we shared it out from every single social media platform that we're on and they're on. But they put out their top plays of the 2000s for college football. And of course, you know, when a top play comes out in any regard, but for the 2000s, Auburn is going to be featured in it a ton. So you will find on that list, I think of 25, if I'm not mistaken, you will find Auburn listed there 4 separate times. One is not a good thing. I didn't know, by the way, they had given this the name for that particular play. We'll get to it in a second. Number 1 on that list, you all know it. It is the kick 6. It is the greatest play in Auburn history, probably. It is the greatest play in, I would say, college football history. It's the greatest play in football history. It might be the greatest play in sports history. I might be stepping out a little bit there, but I think it's deserving of at least consideration for that. But the kick 6 is number 1 on that. Not too far behind that is the prayer in Jordan-Hare, which is the only thing that could be outdone had to outdo the prayer in Jordan-Hare was kick 6, and it happened the next week, which is just wild to think about that, and obviously needs to be on this list. They call it the Gravedigger. It's the 4th and 31 situation that is still baffling to this day, but Auburn is featured in that, whether you want to focus on that or not. But then towards the end of the list, they put the Cam Heisman run against LSU as a top play. And I have to agree that was his Heisman moment, so I think that's very obvious that deserves some type of recognition. But I'd be curious to know for you, is there a better play for Cam Newton out there that should have been on this list? But I'm glad that they included him, something from that championship year. That play is certainly one of the best, if not the best, in terms of what Cam did, showing his Heisman worthiness at that point with that Heisman run he had against LSU, dragging some of them into the end zone and scoring that touchdown. So there you go. The top plays of the 2000. Auburn's on it 4 times. 3 times were good. 1 time was not so good. But go check it out if you haven't. College Football Alerts on social media. We've talked about this on the Auburn Experience podcast, our main show of everything we do, episode 134. We give you a breakdown of War Ready. They have wrapped up their time. This is the Auburn alumni semi-pro tournament thing they do every summer. It does sound like, even though they did wrap up very quicker than we wanted them to, that they will be coming back next year. This thing seems like they're committed to do that. They did lose in the second round to the Kentucky team, which is a little bit sad. Obviously, they were on the cup stuff, breaking free of that second round situation that they can't seem to get out of in this 64 team tournament. But they are continuing to show that they are getting stronger and stronger every single year, obviously still keeping the focus on having Auburn alumni and getting the Auburn family involved and invest in that. So my hope is that they will continue going forward. It seems the indications are that they will continue to do that, and I hope that you all will support them in the future. You won't have to hear us talk about them for a while. I'm sure things will kind of slow down for a little bit. Maybe as we get towards next spring, we'll get to talk more about War Ready. Congrats to them, though, for nearly knocking off the top seed in the region, the La Familia Kentucky alumni team. All right. These are just some other little fun topics, maybe 1 or 2 here to round out our time today. As you know, summer is one of those times where things are slower. And we're just looking for things to talk about. And I want to hear perspectives from you all, the Auburn family. Today is National Hammock Day, and while I wouldn't call myself a major hammock person, I would definitely say that I can see the value and have looked walking across campus as a student, as an alumni, at some students strung up in some of the nice shady areas on campus. Wow, that looks really relaxing and great. I mean, what better place to just chill out, whether you're in a hammock or not, just in the shade on like Sanford Lawn, especially if it's the fall. Oh, can you just imagine falling asleep in there right now? So today's National Hammock Day, and I know the students have a lot of opinions about this. So if you are a student or if you're not, where would you want to set up a hammock on campus and just relax? Like, is there a go-to spot we're not thinking of? Sanford Lawn is certainly the picturesque, what we all think of, those shaded trees off to the left. There's another patch off to the right and some other areas as well. There's probably some hidden gems out there that we're all not aware of. So if you want to let us all in on your little secret of where you think a little glorious patch of Auburn shaded relaxation goodness is, let us in. Let us into your world. Tell us about it. We want to hear from you. And just another little fun question for you all. Today is also Be a Good Teammate Day. I like to look at what the national days are sometimes and see how we can relate it to Auburn stuff. I asked this question on social media. I had some guy actually try to take issue with it and make it more complicated than what it is. Just who do you think is the best teammate, whatever that means to you in Auburn sports history? I think when we think about the word teammate and giving out that type of nomination award, you're not necessarily thinking of the star player, but maybe someone who was a fan favorite, who certainly served the team well on the court, on the field, on whatever, but also maybe could be viewed more of the secondary guy. I think Dylan Cardwell is a great example of that. That's who he used in that image to talk about it. I knew Cody Burns would be brought up very quickly on social media, and he was, and I think that is a great example as well. We even had someone say Cadillac and Ronnie interchangeably, even though they're very prominent in their own rights. They were a duo together, so great teammates being able to share the backfield together. So what do you think? Another question, another take that we want to hear from you. And social media, you can respond to the post, direct message us. You can even hit us up on email at e2cnetwork at gmail.com for any of that, even if it's just feedback about the show. But we'd love to hear your perspectives on those questions. All right, so that's it for episode 40 of Ever to Podcast. As we addressed at the beginning of the show, we're going to still kind of work within this working schedule right now of trying to get these out every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, barring unforeseen circumstances, and as needed from that point forward. I imagine there's going to be a lot of as needed, just to be clear. So you should always be subscribed and following everywhere you can across social media, podcasts, YouTube, everything, E2C Network. We appreciate you being here and spending time with us on episode 40 of Ever to Podcast. Until we talk to you again, War Eagle.